Triple M's Rush Hour podcast, brought to you by Brighton Toyota, Australia's largest Toyota dealership.
Oh, now it's a Friday, and a beautiful day it is too in the magnificent city of Melbourne. Hig and I are here in the Richard Marsland studios doing our best work. We're without big fat Bill Brownless. I'm not sure why. He's buggered off, and I think he's headed up to Deniliquin for the Ute muster. So I'm going to get to where he's at and why he's at it just a moment.
Like giving a pig strawberries.
Well, this is exactly right. But Peter Siddle's going to join us, Australian medium-pace bowler, until he proves me wrong. Also, Ed Cavalier, a great man and a great fan of, I'm a great fan of his, former dominant Triple M act, now just in global control. So Ed's going to be in a little later on. And we also have an idiot file. We're going to speak to Adam Simpson, the new coach of the West Coast Eagles. So it is all happening. Triple M Central, rush hour, of course, 3 to 5. You dig it the most. Now, Bill, where are you?
Jim, lovely to be. I'm at Deniliquin, actually, 2QN, hits and memories, 15:21 on the AM style, and there's a girl next door to me in this little room, and she's spinning the plastic with Jessie's girl, and it's all happening up here in Denny. Let me tell you, the Denny Ute
Hits and memories.
Yes, 2QN. 15:21 on the AM dial, hits and memories.
Come on, Bill. Now, why are you in Deniliquin, please?
Well, of course, the Denny Ute muster starts today, and there's already 10,000 people out there. There's a lot of cut-off denim shorts walking around, some rather large singlets, fair to say, I'm told.
Including the one you're wearing?
Yeah, exactly. I've got the blue singlet on as we speak, Jimmy boy, because when you hit Denny, you've got to put on a blue singlet. I'm going for a world record tomorrow for the most number of people in a blue singlet. So that'll put me in the record books. Don't worry about that.
Now, Bill, just because you're sitting at an AM station doesn't
like
mean
it.
you have to start operating AM style.
Jesse's girl. And a bit happening, they tell me, in the footy news too, Jimmy boy. Your man, Adam Simpson.
Yes,
that's good news
that's
over there at the West Coast Eagles.
A very, very good appointment. A high-quality individual, Adam Simpson. And one of my favourites, Willis. In fact, when I first started as the chairman, Simo was the captain, and I was often accused of having a bit of man love where Simo was concerned, because he is an absolute beauty, and I reckon West Coast have made a very good decision in putting him in. He will be great. He's going to speak to us just out of the 4 o'clock news. Cole Sylvia, a docker, which we sort of knew was going to happen, and Matt White is going to join Port Adelaide from Richmond, which is, if you get where you want to go out of a trade situation, Willis, it's a good thing.
Yeah, the speedster, of course. Interesting, Peter Sumich. I think he thought he had that job over there, Jim. He's gutted. And that's a ballsy decision by the West Coast Eagles, because I reckon you got the same beast there if they did take on Sumich, the same as, Awusha Worsfold.
Yep.
So well done to them. Peggy O'Neill, I heard her talking today, and she's a lawyer, very good background, and spoke really well. She's the new first female president in the AFL, which is great news, isn't it,
the Richmond
Jimmy?
Footy Club. I think it is great news. I don't know Peggy from Adam, but I welcome her to the fold, and I think she'll be fantastic. Probably, if you're going to take on any position, if you're a lady of that qualification, chairman's not a bad one, because you control the board and you don't have to get stuck into all of the testosterone-driven football stuff, Bill, which can often get a little fruity, as you can imagine. So she'll be able to sit above everyone and make sure the right decisions are made, and I'm sure she'll do a great job.
Is she the first female president?
Yep. She is.
What about the one at North? Some
Bill,
gold from 2QN.
As I said, Bill, just because you're in an AM station doesn't mean you have to start operating AM style. All right, we're going to take a break here. You haven't even said hello to Hig, by the way.
G'day, David.
And we're the 3 best friends that anybody could have.
Actually, I'm taking that away because you didn't say hello, so you can get stuffed.
Yeah, get stuffed, Bill.
Oh, you'd love it up here, Fat. Put in a blue singlet and you'd be out there having
I'd be loving it.
Bundy and Coke.
Bill, we're going to talk about men and their utes next. So let's take a song. You relax up there, Bill. Like everything in that part of the world, it is about half a second behind. So just sit back and relax up there, big man. We're going to talk utes next on the Rush Hour.
We've got Bill on a proper mic now.
Well, let's see if we go. Are you going any better up there, Wilbert?
Back on air, boys, here. We just had the headphones like you do with a footy call, but now I'm in on normal mic here at 2QN.
But doesn't explain your voice.
Yeah, what's happened to your voice?
Well, we had the best and fairest last night, and can I just talk about this for a minute, Jim?
Ploughed
because
your way through 1800.
1600 there at Palladium. Did a very good job. Well done to Crown again. But a very emotional night with, of course, Josh Hunt retiring, Pods retiring, or he hopes to go on, and then Paul Chapman. And I had a little chat to Chappie on stage.
Yes.
One of the most loved players ever to play for the Cats, and probably for the game. Supporters were in tears, and they've got a petition going on, save Chappie and things like that, but held himself very, very well.
Good.
Fair to say he doesn't agree with the announcement. Yeah, with the decision, but has certainly accepted it and spoke really well and honestly, as you would expect from Chap. So he was very good. Joel Selwood won the count. He deserves that from Big Harry Taylor. And Mackie came third, but the big surprise, and was this man dirty on this, Jimmy
Stevie.
Boy? 13th.
Oh, no.
Stevie J was 13th in the best of various.
Filthy Stevie.
Come on.
Was he?
Come on,
Filthy Stevie. Hey,
13th, Jim.
No, I agree with everything you just said. And, Bill, strong footy clubs make strong decisions. So my admiration for the Cats grows when they are able to stand up and deal with hard decisions as strongly and as well as they do.
And it's a tough call, mate, because he played really well his last game, but they had to make these tough calls. So, look, and who knows if the decision's the right one or the wrong one, and we'll know in a year's time. But that is a tough call they've made. All
right, now, Bill, you're up at the Denny Ute Muster, which gets us thinking that Australian blokes love their utes. In fact,
they love them.
We're the only place in the world where they're actually called utes. And I remember watching, and you would have seen it, Hig, because I know you're a devotee of Top Gear. Mm-hmm. They road tested a couple of years ago a ute, where they just started peeing themselves laughing, Clarkson and Hammond.
Yeah, that was the Maloo Ute.
Yeah, they said, who the hell drives these cars? There's only one place in the world where you could sell a car like this, and that's Australia, because no one knows what they do down there.
Exactly.
But for years, Willis, men have lowered their utes. They've put cattle bars on the front. They've the big, massive roll bars, extractors.
Oh, yeah, the big exhaust stacks.
Bullhorns. Kenworth mud flaps, you were saying earlier, spotlights. Willis, you will see up there the most incredible utes ever.
Well, and then they have competitions out there for all that different categories, for all different types of utes. But I went past, I sat behind a couple of utes on the way down here today, and let me tell you, the biggest aerials you've ever seen, they would pick up something from the moon.
Yep.
And you said the bull bars and the big mud flaps and things like that. So unbelievable, and they're all heading to Denny this weekend.
All right. So what
are you allowed in without a Carnago pub sticker?
No, you can buy one.
R.M. Williams with the huge big horns
they
put on the rear window. So, Willis, we're asking this question because we have a huge amount, and I'm mainly responsible for it, a huge amount of female listeners on this show. And, Bill, they have men who love their utes. So we're asking a very simple question here to the female members only, 133353, you know the number. Does your man love his ute more than he loves you? Very simple question. And how? What does he do? Does he polish it, Willis?
Hello. Oh.
Does he kick mum's car out and his has got to stay in the garage? 133353. Does your man love his ute more than he loves you? And if so, how? We'll take your calls next. We're asking you, does your man love his ute more than he loves you? We asked the female members to give us a ring, Willis, and I know you can't see this because you're in Deniliquin, but the first 4 people to ring up were men, which is what I love. And we might take a couple of them in just a sec, but let's get to Heather first, who's in Melton. Hey, Heather.
Hey, good. How are you?
You obviously have a man who loves his ute.
No. I've got the ute, darling. You got it all wrong.
You've got the ute?
I've got the ute, and I'm on my second one.
Oh, what do you love about utes?
Well, originally I had a HQ.
Yes.
And she was romping, and people just underestimate you. They don't expect a girl to drive a car like that.
And what have you moved on to?
Oh, I've got a family now, so I had to get a twin cab, so I drive a Triton.
A Triton twin cab. And what does the man drive?
A pussy little Lancer.
I love it. Hey, Heather, do you have to have it for your work, or do you just like utes?
Kind of for our work, because we've got a truck as well, so I've got to give him his due there.
All right,
so
well done.
I've got the ute so I can pick up tyres or whatever he needs.
Good girl. All right, let's get to Orbost Willis. Brooks there?
Yeah, hey, g'day. How you going?
Good. What do you got?
Well, my husband has a GQ Nissan Patrol, and it's his life.
What does he do to it that he doesn't do to you?
He spends every single weekend with it.
Oh, hello. Gee.
And he spends every single night looking up parts and things like that on eBay.
What is he? What is it about it that he loves? Just the fact that it's his patrol ute?
I have no idea. I reckon it's a piece of crap, but he loves it.
Well, I don't think you'll see too many of them up at the Denny Ute Muster, Willis.
No.
No, the Nissan. No, not the Nissan Patrol. You got to have a ute. You got to have a like a tray in the back, Jim.
Yeah, which this one had.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Sarah's in Melbourne. Hello, Sarah.
Sarah.
Hello, how are you? Hello, Billy. You know my husband,
Hello.
Ben. I think you were with him having beers last night.
Oh, good sort, this one, boys. G'day, Sarah. How are you? And,
How are you, dolls? I'm just saying, you're a bit sexist. The girls love their ute. I used to, being a country girl, drive the V8 Commodore ute with the straight-through exhaust. And, you know, you used to only date the boys back then that had the good ute. It wasn't about what they looked like. It was all about what the good... what size engine they had under their bonnet.
Well, but don't worry, Mrs. B's been treated with a beautiful engine over the journey, says. Now, listen, do you take it into the paddock and do some work?
Not anymore. And I had to get rid of that when I got a real job down in Melbourne, unfortunately. But my husband was going to get a Hilux, and I said, listen, I said I'm trying to relive the B&S days and the circle work champ that I used to be, and I told him if he didn't get a Maloo ute, then he wasn't welcome back in the house. So we've got a Maloo ute and a very happy sex life.
Hello.
Oh,
there we go.
And you're pregnant. And you're pregnant, aren't you, Says?
I don't think we're going to announce that, are we, Billy?
Oh,
Willis.
Jeez, sorry.
You idiot. Sarah, apologies.
No, sorry about that, Darlo. Oh, no.
Bill,
Oh, sorry, no.
You
idiot.
are a clown.
Sarah, Higo and I can only apologise on behalf of the station.
No, I understand. Look, luckily I just told my work last week, so we're all okay.
Oh, good. Oh, that's all right.
Bill.
Yes.
So, Bill, just think something is wrong with you, honestly.
Well,
What?
She told me the other night.
Yeah, probably in confidence.
In confidence is
Yeah,
what she
in
did.
confidence.
Brett's in Brayside. Bill, get on to Brett.
Hello, Bretty boy.
G'day,
Tell
Billy.
us about your ute.
It's my daughter's ute.
Oh.
Yes.
What is it?
It's an XR6.
Oh,
Hello.
Yeah, it's all right.
How old is she, Bretty?
22.
Oh.
How do you feel about your daughter running around in a ute there, Bretland?
Yeah, it's awesome, mate. Yeah, great. Just awesome. Yeah, love it.
What's in the back of it, Brett?
Lots of dancing stuff and props and crap.
Yeah, hopefully not a 24-year-old bloke, Brett, at any stage.
No, definitely not. No, not at all.
All right, well done. Let's get to Fee and Berwick. Willis, hello, Fee. Hey, Fee.
Hi, how are you?
All right, now, is it your ute or your man's?
No, it's my ute. It's D22 Navara,
Oh.
and I love it.
It's the Australia's toughest tradie,
Yeah,
then, this
that's-
Navara.
It is, yeah, Australia's toughest tradie, but I'm a nurse, not a tradie.
Why have you got a ute then, Fee?
To drag my dog around in the back and the horse float as well.
Ah, yes, the horse float.
Oh, the old horse float. Mrs. B would have a ute, wouldn't she, Jim?
She does have a ute. It's a Ford Ranger. It's an old bastard. It's got about 200,000 on the clock.
That's what I drove up.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, but it wouldn't have had 200,000, I don't think.
All right, let's move along.
Chris is in Dandenong. Hello, Chris.
How are you, mate?
All right, now, who has the ute in your family?
Well, the more I sat here in traffic thinking about it, my daughter's got a ute. Her mother has a Chev dual cab, dual wheel ute.
Ooh.
And lucky me, I drive a 1981 Mazda 323 panel van.
Oh, come on, Chris. What the hell are you doing?
I'm living the dream.
Who's towing the ski boat, obviously?
Hey,
Yeah, mate, horse floats, all of it. So,
your
yeah.
wife's ute sounds like a serious machine.
Yeah. Yeah, where I've got a, I'm a mechanic, and so I'm into cars and trucks and all that sort of stuff, but they seem to follow it, so I just end up driving the bombs.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Good work.
Thank you, Chris. Hey, Willis.
323 panel
Yeah,
van.
how's that?
Beautiful.
How funny is that?
I love it.
Hey, Bill, how many utes are expected to be at the Denny Ute Muster?
Well, I reckon they set a record for something like 12,000 or something like that. It is unbelievable. They all camp out there, Jim, under the stars.
Are you doing that?
So you imagine... No, I might just come back in and they've got a nice motel here in Denny. I'm not camping out there, but I'll tell you who's driving up there. They might be listening is Trent West, Big Brad Ottens, Pill. and Dawson Simpson, and they're going to camp out there, and they got their swag and all that. Like, that'd be the worst thing in the world, I reckon.
3 biggest blokes ever. They want to be a big swag. I
mate,
tell you what, if you're driving the other way from Deniliquin to Melbourne, and you see are they in a ute?
Yeah.
Now, if you see a ute with 3 men in there who are all clicking over 6'6", one with the biggest head you've ever seen.
You want to have a sunroof, wouldn't you?
That will be the 3-time premiership superstar Big Pill Ottens and a couple of his sidekicks just heading up to Denny.
The Rush Hour Sharpest for Sheen Panel Service.
Oh, he's bowled him. Very full and through Root's defences. Oh, bowled him. Siddle from wide of the crease, a centre wide half volley. Trott went after it. A big, thick inside edge.
Wow, another wicket for Siddle. That's 5. Been in a smash? Call Sheen Panel Service first. 1300 Repair.
Peter Siddle joins us. Hello to you.
Hello,
You'll
JB.
get called a medium pacer until it gets up over 145. What's happened, mate?
Oh, it's all right. Everyone can't bowl 145.
Well, you used to.
Know. Yeah, he's got to pick your moments, and I think DK's the prime example of going from a fast bowler to just picking his moments.
Yeah, but DK was never a vegetarian or on the wagon. So what are you doing?
I'm just doing what I do best, mate. That's staying fit and getting wickets.
Well, you certainly look fit. Bill, I know you're in Deniliquin. This man's fading away. I can hardly see him.
Well, I saw him last week, Jim, at the grand final. He's in the CUB marquee actually wasn't having a frothy, but your good mate was, Paddo. And you are looking well. You must be pretty fit, raring to go, Sids.
Yeah, I am. I had a good break away and then been training hard the last couple of weeks and getting ready and looking forward to, next week getting back up to Sydney and having a game with the boys in the Ryobi.
Well, they're playing today against South Australia. I think they're doing okay too. In fact, that might have just been a maximum deposited by someone or another.
Cameron White,
the big bear, back down the ground into the sight screen. So I think they only need 100 with, all 8 wickets in hand, so they should get there pretty easily.
Yeah, I hope so. They started.
Why aren't you playing in this game?
Like I said, I went away on holidays and have only been back for a couple of weeks, so haven't really been bowling for that long, but been off the long run all this week up there with the boys, and just looking forward to next week that we got 3 more matches once we get up there and having a crack and hopefully win a few more games and make the finals.
All right, you don't need.
Do you want to play a bit?
Sorry, go.
Sorry, Jim.
Big Willis.
Do you want to play a bit more of the 50 over cricket? Did I read somewhere, Sids, that you've told the Australian selectors, hey, don't forget me, I still want to play the one-day stuff?
Yeah, of course I do. I think the World Cup is in about 18 months now, and obviously, by the time that gets around, I'll be 30, so the chances of playing in the World Cup after that at 34 could be very slim. So I just want to give myself every chance to hopefully be up for selection. If not, so be it. But you got to be in it to win it.
And also T20 cricket, of course, with the Renegades this summer. It's about time you realised where the real strength is in this city. So you and Jimmy Pattinson moving across.
Yes, we have. Yeah, looking forward to it. Obviously, getting back into the short form games and a good opportunity to get out there at Etihad with the Renegades boys and play under Finchy and play with a few blokes that I've enjoyed playing with in the past. So should be a bit of fun and hopefully, the team can go that one step better next year.
Just on Finchy, do you think he's taken the next step, Sids? Because we've seen him make some unbelievable scores the last few months. So is he taken that next step?
Yeah, I hope so. I think he's shown, especially in the one-day format over the last couple of years for Victoria, that he could slip straight into that one-day team for Australia and go well. And I think England was a good example. He's started off a little bit slow in this Ryobi with a couple of single-figure scores, but I think he has. I think he knows what he's got to do now, knows how to play, and knows his game. So hopefully, can continue that over in India.
Peter Siddle's with us.
What happened at the Ashes, mate?
Yes, it wasn't a great finish. It was disappointing, obviously, for all of us. But I think 3-0 doesn't look good, but I think coming out of it, there's enough positives to obviously give us hope for this summer.
Well, Bell was a massive difference. I thought he was the best batsman in the series by far, and every time, and a credit to him, every time we looked like we were getting some ascendancy with the ball, he stepped up and made 100.
Yes, it wasn't good. I think we worked so hard at obviously concentrating on Cook, Trott, Pryor to an extent, KP.
Yep.
And we probably let that one slip, which was disappointing. And then we're chasing our tail for pretty much the rest of the series, trying to find ways how to crack him, how to get over him. And I think we just finished off disappointing, and it just
Bill, he just had the series of his life, and you can't often do much about that.
No, he did. But a couple of interesting decisions where, what was his name? Hit at the first slip and didn't walk.
Broad.
Your mate Broad.
Broad. And there was a couple of bakes that the rush hour did, Sid.
The rush hour did.
Yes, we enjoyed those. We enjoyed those.
And I think you got the full frontal ones, the ones with no beeping in them.
Yes, we
How did
did.
they go on the bus? Mate?
Yeah, no, they went very well. The boys were quite excited when we got those through and put them on the loudspeaker on the bus, and everyone was having a good laugh. But yeah, obviously there wasn't a lot of laugh and a lot of fun throughout the series. But yeah, like I said, there's plenty of positives, and I think this summer would be a lot different.
Big fat boy Lehman appears to have made a difference to me, old hail damage ass, because he's a very good man, and there looks like there's some contentment in the dressing room, which is very important.
Yeah, I think he is. As you'd know, he's a great man, and I think he just brings a good, funny character to the team. I think he's obviously very hard when he gets towards the coaching side of things, but also has the ability to make the boys laugh and keep it keep us upbeat. So it's been good fun. I think some more wins will make it even more fun. But I think throughout the one-day series they showed that we can get on top of them and play some good cricket.
And brought the families back in too, I think. He's pretty big on that, isn't he, Sids?
Yeah, he is. He's happy. It's all about family, whether it's to the team and their partners and kids and all that type of thing. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of those were over there for a fair chunk of the tour, and I think it just keeps everyone happy and everyone in a good place.
Speaking about Chris Broad, he can't be a good. Stewie Broad, he can't be a good bloke, surely.
Nah, it's an interesting one. He obviously is disappointing. Yes, not many of us walk though, but.
When you smash it to gully, you might think about it.
It is still up to the umpire's decision. So I guess
come on.
We'll see what happens, but I don't think he's going to be very well welcome back home here.
I couldn't work out, Bill, why the next time Australia batted, it didn't matter whether you got bowled, skied one straight up in the air. Yep. Whatever happened, you should have waited and made the umpire give you out just to embarrass him. I don't know why you didn't do that. All right, so let's talk about this year. Who is going to join you in the fast bowling attack? Ryan Harris was brilliant. Is he going to be fit and well? Jimmy Pattinson. We know that Cummins is injured again, which is a great shame. The big boy Stark, Johnson. Who are we going to have?
Well, yes, with Cummins, obviously Jimmy Patto and Mitchell Stark are still going to be injured for probably the first little bit, so they might be available third, fourth, fifth test around that time. But yeah, obviously Rhino's going well. He's flying at the moment. I faced him a couple of times in Sydney this week, and he's going well. So he'll be there. And I'm guessing, Mitchell Johnson. He had a great one-day series. All the boys spoke very highly of how he went in that tour. So I think he's a chance. I think Ben Hilfenhaus is fit and firing as well. So. There's obviously a lot of experience there, and there's plenty of young blokes around as well that, if need be, can top up.
Well done, Sids. Hey, you're at Fed Square today too, mate, are you?
I am at Fed Square, yes, this afternoon. I'm their ambassador for World Animal Day, so got a chat tonight with a few other ambassadors, so should be a good night, and get down there.
What do you talk about? You're caring for animals and things like that.
Just the stuff that I support. Obviously, against all the cruelty to animals and that type of thing, and talk a bit about my obviously vegetarian, vegan diet, and just how I've sort of grown up and developed into where I'm at now.
Well, we've got a tweet. Shut up, Bill. I'm turning him off for a minute because we've got a tweet just speaking about that. It says, Sids will bowl 145k an hour when he rediscovers his inner bogan and gets back on the cans and the meat.
When is that going to happen, please, Peter?
No, I don't think it'll be happening anytime soon. I guess when I was on those things, I was off the park for 6 months a year. So I'm in a good place. I'm fit. I'm strong, and I'm continually playing cricket. And I think as my record shows that it's all going well.
Yeah, you also used to bruise the keeper's gloves every now and then back in those days. Now, Bill, it's around the old shoelaces where little Wadey's taking them.
Hads has got some fragile fingers, so I just have to look after him these days and make sure he can get to 50 tests.
Hit the track. Hey, we're looking for, this is going to be, Bill, an enormous summer. The Poms come out here. We owe them big style. We don't like them very much, so we need to get cracking with this test series. Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth, Melbourne,
Adelaide,
Sydney.
Jim.
Bill's going to be at the Adelaide Test.
Oh, that will be an enjoyable one. No doubt you won't see much cricket. You'll be out the back of the stand.
I might run out nude at some stage and just shake your hand, Sids.
That's what we need.
All right.
I mightn't shake your hand, but we'll see how we go.
Sids, we'll see you well and surely before then, but good luck with everything. Great catching up.
Cheers, boys. Thanks very much.
We're just having to juggle things around a little bit because we're getting Adam Simpson, the brand new West Coast Eagles coach. We think that's about 4:30. So what we're doing is we're dropping the idiot file down a bit lower. That's a bit of broadcasting that I don't think our next guest, Ed Cavalier, would have heard, but it's some of the more astounding stuff ever in radio history. So that's going down to the bottom of the hour. And we are bringing in Ed Cavalier Willis, who's with us right now. Hello, big man.
Hello, gentlemen, and it is always nice to see your name bumped for the idiot file. Not part of it.
Yes.
What a refreshing change.
Hey, have you seen Bill Brownless, who's in Deniliquin, online?
Well, when I walked in, Bill, they said, now Bill's in Deniliquin, and you know what? I didn't raise an eyebrow. I thought, that seems fair.
Yep.
I assume he's gone to the Geelong Best and Fairest, woken up in Deniliquin. I don't want to know what happened in between. That's not my business.
And that's exactly what happened, Ed. I remember going to bed at Crown, and next minute I'm sitting in here at 2QN Studios, which is Hits and Memories, my friend here.
Oh, the memories. Can you imagine the memories? And I've seen, Bill, I've seen a photograph of you, and I said, I don't know if the cover of FHM for next month is set, but they should really stop the presses on those cans. So, but you are going for a world record, correct?
I am in my blue singlet, which I think you've seen the photo of. So I'm sitting here in it right now.
Yes.
We go out there tomorrow, and we've got to stand there. They count how many people are there in blue singlets.
Okay.
I think the record is currently about 3,000 people, so we'll smash that tomorrow.
And where's that? Is that currently being held? Where is that? Somewhere in Sydney? Is that a particular?
No, at Denny.
Oh,
mate,
they're breaking their own record.
Exactly. We're going to break our own record, and also the Utes. I think the world record there is 10,152 Utes, and they're going to break that tomorrow.
Well, I don't know when the next bus is leaving, but I'm on it. We're all getting on a coach to get down there.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you're missing though, Bill. You're setting world records, and there's rumours of some Maccas that have been delivered. We don't want to go into that.
No.
But what I love, JB, is when I walk into a radio studio, and thank goodness the television is set to gem.
Yes.
On a Friday afternoon, and the ratings bonanza that is the Ryobi Cup is being played.
Yeah, well, you would have brushed shoulders with the great Peter Siddle on the way.
I was too frightened to say hello.
Were you?
Yeah, I was too intimidated by the great vegetarian to go and say g'day, because he is a hero, a current day hero of mine.
He's got a head full of teeth.
Is it mainly teeth?
That's amazing, isn't it?
Well, I love the way that his lips, he's had so much zinc on his lips now that he's just permanently zinced. He's got permanently very white lips. But we were talking off air, Bill, and you know one of my great passions. So I've got two great passions, and that is television and domestic cricket. Now.
You have.
You were complaining before, because how many one-day matches did you play for South Australia?
Well, I'd have to guess at about 20, 25. We only used to play 3 a year.
3 a year.
They started the season, you'd play 3.
Okay.
And if you're good enough to get in the final, that was your 4th.
Let me ask you this. Did you ever play in the Mercantile Mutual Cup?
Yeah, I did.
Did you ever have a swing for the sign, which was 10 grand? If you hit the sign on the full member bill, you got 10 grand.
That's right.
And who hit the sign? Do you remember who hit the sign, Bill? I remember I watched it live, and I'm almost certain. Have a guess. Who hit that sign?
I couldn't tell you.
Was it down at Tassie?
It was down at Tassie.
I thought, I can remember this. And there was
Dean Hills?
It was a real hoik. It was a genuine
Buckingham Palace. Buckingham.
It wasn't the Big Danny Buckingham.
The burger.
I believe it was either punter or one of you, or Steve Waugh, because I remember it was a big name player, and I remember the other players on the field were that filthy, because the only bloke that didn't need the 10 grand was the bloke that hit the sign.
Yeah. Well, I did play, and I remember that. I got nowhere near the sign myself.
But were people hitting for it?
No.
No. What do you mean?
Just in general play, if the ball went anywhere near it. Yeah, then
that was your go.
You were a winner.
Look, I'm still shocked that you're not suiting up for the Big Bash, because you're still under the average age.
46.
Was that around 1995, you reckon, Ed?
I think it might have been
Steve Waugh hitting the Mercantile Mutual Cup. Yeah,
that's a good get.
There's some YouTube kids.
That's a good get.
Never say I don't bring in the hits and memories,
and
gentlemen.
I think it was the McDonald's Cup prior to that.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was the McDonald's Cup, Bill. So the product you've just eaten was what used to fund the one-day competition.
Well, that's why I went across and bought some, because I could remember the cricket back then, and that made me do that. But you are our TV man, Ed. You love your TV, don't you?
I love TV, Bill. I absolutely love it, and I've got something now that some of the great shows like your Breaking Bads have finished, your Dexter's finished.
Yes.
I've got some stuff, Bill, that is going to, and footy's over.
Yeah.
There's no way. Look, we can all pretend that Gillette Trade Week is setting us on fire, but it's not. So we've got to find something to do with our time. Domestic one-day cricket's part of it. I'm going to come back. I have got some TV that is going to keep you glued to the couch, Bill. Right. You are going to be pumped up.
Ed Cavalier.
And you and Bill have a lot in common because you both love watching telly, which I don't do a hell of a lot of, I must admit. I know you and I are fans of Arrested Development.
Yeah, great show.
It is a great show and a much under-watched show.
And the first time it went around, it kept getting axed at the end of every season. They kept bringing it back. And then they finally, Bill, they just did a fourth season, which went out all on the internet at once on your Netflix, which they're showing on the Comedy Channel at the moment, which is an absolute ripper. But the weird thing's happened since. They've all got so famous that they could only have all of the cast in the room once. So they've got all these weird shots where it's just sort of dummies standing in for each other on the set. But that is an absolute ripper. But we know that Breaking Bad fans around here.
Well, we did a show on it when, Bill, last week?
Yeah, last week.
This is why I bring it up. Because what the idea was, Bill, you were going to catch up in 30 seconds, was it? 25?
Yeah, he wanted to try and catch up in 30 seconds.
50 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's well worth going back and starting at
Is it really?
Oh, yeah. It's
from the start.
It's 50 episodes. I know it's a big commitment. We've got the summer coming up, gents. The cricket's not on for a while.
You know, a big commitment sitting and watching.
Yeah,
I know.
No, we can't do that.
No, you can't. No, won't do it?
We can't do that.
What else have we got on for 5 months,
What's
Bill?
the show you love, Bill?
Well, I love Homeland, which has just come back on Channel 10, but Channel 7 went with one the other night too. I think it's called Blacklist, about a bad guy. What's his name? Spader?
James Spader.
Yeah, and mate, that went berserk, didn't it? They rated really well.
Yeah, that was a massive one. And I know you're a big SBS 2 guy as well, Bill.
Yes.
You love
world movies.
You know a movie's blue when it's been shifted from SBS to SBS 2. That's how blue it is. They can't even show it on your regular SBS station. But I want to know who here is watching X Factor.
No.
Good. Correct response. Bill, are there any kids or ladies in your house which are forcing you to watch X Factor?
No, not X Factor. I watch a bit of Australia's Got Talent because there's some very talented people out there. Very funny magician. What do they call Magic Man?
What's he?
We've got a late entry for the idiot file.
He's
Matty, can you get that one?
Do you understand any of that? Ed?
I think he said there's a funny mathematician or
something like that,
or Jim Magilton or
Magilton.
I'm not sure. Mumbo jumbo man. I'm not sure.
Given that
Ray Donovan.
Matriculation or something.
Given that you've worked with Ray Martin, you'll be accustomed. Tony Martin, you'll be accustomed to.
He might have worked with Ray.
Bill
We don't know.
Yes. You have. I know you have.
I replaced Jeff Harvey as the conductor on the Midday Orchestra.
Hey, your nose red. It worked well.
Ray Donovan, Bill wants to know.
That's a good one. He goes and fixes your issues if you're your underworld type.
He's Russian man doesn't he? His right-hand man does it all. And it was a great one the other night. I won't go into it, but it was very, very interesting how they fixed up this bloke.
Oh, the wheels are falling.
It was a great one the other night.
I feel it's something between Geelong Best and Fairest, a few bourbons, and a quarter pounder. I think it's time for a nap. Let the man nap. Do you know what I mean?
Mate Lee Patch has got his job. He's in big trouble. Bill's going to come in and go, tell you what, it was a great one the other night.
I got to play you this, Bill. If you've never seen X Factor, because where I live, I'm living with my beautiful fiancée Tiff, and it's X Factor on. It's bad luck. We're watching the X Factor, and I don't have a choice. And Red Foo is your man. Now, you know, every day I'm shuffling, some of his wonderful work. I'm sure we've got a couple of the tracks coming up on TripleM very soon.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, absolutely. But Red Foo is the guy they've brought out, guys, to be like your international credibility. You got Danny Minogue sitting there, fair enough. You got Ronan Keating sitting there, and then you got something for the kids. You got your Red Foo. Young bloke came out, sang a song, and this is what Red Foo had to say.
I grew up around Diana Ross and her kids. Actually, the first girl that I ever kissed was Diana Ross's daughter, Chudney. And all I was thinking about during this performance was, I got to get this to Diana because it was amazing.
Okay. So let's not worry that Diana Ross has a daughter called Chudney.
Yeah. What is that?
That's
we're going to leave that be. That was Red Foo telling a young man that he was going to send the tape of his audition direct to Diana Ross. Now, Bill, that was 4 weeks ago. No word back from Miss Ross.
Oh, really? Nothing yet?
Here you go,
Snail
JB,
mail?
Bill. You won't believe it. I don't know how she sent it. Maybe the you send it file got lost.
Maybe.
But the young man is still waiting for a call from Miss Ross.
What about those for some names just being dropped as well? I grew up around Diana Ross.
You're doing what, in the bushes? Outside the front of the house?
Daughter Jenny.
You don't want to hear what he...
Chutney.
You did with Chutney. You don't want to hear what he did with Lionel Richie's daughter. That is not for this time.
Nicole Richie.
Oh, Nicole Richie.
Oh,
yes.
Nicole Richie and Chutney.
So let me grew up with Barry and Smithy, Diana Ross.
So there, in short, gentlemen, if you're not watching X Factor, you are missing nothing at all.
Oh. Hey, did you see the first ep of Dancing with the Stars?
Sadly, some of it.
And?
They're dancing. I mean, it happened.
Are they stars, though?
Listen, I challenge you to go onto the street and ask 1,000 people who Constantino is and give me the results.
Yes.
If you can get over 15, I'll give you $5 each.
Ed, can you stick around or are you busy? What do you do?
Let's stick around,
Right,
gentlemen.
we need to chat to Adam Simpson shortly, and then I've got more I want to discuss with Ed Cavalier. And Bill, just see if you can get to sort of 5 o'clock up there in Deniliquin.
Is he a magician, that Constantino?
He is. He's done it.
Yes, there you go. I knew I could get it out.
Very thrilled I am, Bill, with the announcement that Adam Simpson is going to be the senior coach of the West Coast Eagles. Of course, 300-plus games at the Kangaroos and a much-loved past player at our club, and one of those blokes that as soon as he finished playing on you was going to be a senior coach somewhere. And I couldn't think of a better place for it to be than the West Coast Eagles. Massive club over there in Perth. And I think we've got Simo on the line. Simo, are you there?
G'day, JB.
Hey, congratulations from Bill and myself and everyone listening to Triple M. It's a great day for you. Well done.
Thanks, mate. I think what got me over the line is the shin boner. You know, I just dropped that a couple of times and they gave me the job.
Hey,
not really.
It's big for you, mate. You've got a beautiful wife, Nikki, and 4 kids, so you're moving over to Perth and a whole new life, 3-year deal.
Yeah, look, my feet haven't touched the ground yet, to be honest. And, you know, part of a premiership side and coaching group 5 days ago, and unfortunately I haven't had a chance to celebrate with the players and coaches because we flew to Perth on Monday morning, and then obviously the decision today. So it's been a reasonably busy week.
Hey, well done, Simo. Billy here, mate. I tell you what, you must have loved the Hawthorn experience, and what has Clarko said to you?
He's been really supportive. I was a little bit worried there for a little while. Then I told him I was going for it, knowing it was such an important time of the year with the finals campaign. But Alistair, along with Chris Fagan, they've been gold. They've been really good. You know, I've been at Hawthorn for 4 years, and in that time, they've 3 prelims, 2 grand finals, and a premiership. So just really fortunate I got an opportunity to go there, and I've got no doubt the success that we had at Hawthorn went a long way towards getting a job at West Coast.
Hey, mate, it's a massive club. It's Collingwood probably the only bigger club in the AFL. Enormous supporter base, enormous wealth, huge expectation as well. They expect to perform well over there in the West, so you'd be aware of that, I'm sure.
Oh, what are you trying to tell me? Get the job done. Yeah, look, they are. The expectations are high, but that's good. You want to be at clubs like that. You know, they've played finals since their inception to the competition 70% of the time. So they're used to playing finals and having success. So there's nothing wrong with having those expectations. The good thing is I think the list is, you know, probably we can get a bit more out of it than what we got this year. So that's exciting as well. But yeah, there's no doubt there's pressure.
Scotty Burns is also in the race for the coaching job. Would you like him to stay there and become your senior assistant or something like that, Simo?
Yeah, I would. It's up to Scott. I mean, you know, we'd love to have him here still, but look, there's no doubt there'll be other clubs chasing him, and he's got to decide whether he wants to explore other opportunities. But he's got a great rapport with the players over here and well respected and regarded amongst the club. So we're trying really hard, but there's no guarantees.
And Dennis Pagan, of course, your first coach, and you played in 2 premierships under Dennis, and one of the most famous coaches for sayings in the modern history of the AFL. Don't pee down my back and tell me it's raining, son, and this sort of stuff. Can you see yourself ripping any of that out, Simo?
He used to tell me all the time, he reckons I closed my eyes when I was going for marks. He used to say, open the Venetians. I don't know what he was talking about but He's a ripper. I spoke to Dennis the other day, and he dropped 5 or 6 cliches and paganisms. It was fantastic to reminisce, but he's been a massive part of my development, so I can't thank him enough.
Hey, speaking of that, Simo, will we see some Hawthorn-style type of footy over in the West?
Oh, look, I've learned a lot of stuff at Hawthorn, but I don't think we don't want to clone what Hawthorn have done. It's a different list, different strengths. So I've learned a lot from Hawthorn, the way they move the ball and defend, and probably learned more about how they educate the players. So whatever style I've come up with, it's probably about how I can communicate it, and that type of thing is, I think, is more important than the actual style of play, because as long as you've got buy-in, you can make things work. So,
what's an Adam Simpson coached football team going to look like, Simo? How are you going to play? Ross Lyon and get numbers back and make sure you're not scored against, or get people on the run and stun and hit the scoreboard? What are we going to see?
Oh, that's a good question, JB. I think the one thing I think where footy's going is you've got to have flexibility. You've got to be able to do both on occasion. So the way that I can see footy going is you got your one wood, no doubt, and you got to be good at that. But you've got to be able to adapt to the game, and players, you've got to be able to adapt to different positions. And so that's where I think the game's going, and that's what I spoke to West Coast about, getting a bit more flexibility in the side with personnel and also with the way you play. So, and above all, you got to have a crack. That's the same forever.
All right, mate. Well, we wish you well. Just a word of warning as I let you go. Get your eyes off any of the North Melbourne staff.
Oh, yes.
I'll be a bit late for that, mate.
Got your own people over there, so deal with them, please. No, mate, as I said off the top, very, very proud of you. I think you're going to make a great senior coach, and very exciting times in the Simpson household. Well done.
Oh, appreciate it, guys.
Ed Cavalier is here with us.
And Ed, they have radio awards every year.
I know they do.
And every year we put this particular segment in to see if we can get a victory.
And what happens? Get beaten by Beat the Bomb?
I don't know what it is.
Fugitive takes the cake?
We can't seem to get the idiot file to the line.
I am so excited to be live in the studio for this. Give it to me.
It's Radio Genius, and everyone who listens to it knows about it. Of course, and everyone listens because that's why the Rush Hour's number one in the ratings.
Exactly right.
Bill speaks from time to time, and basically the wrong stuff comes out. He either doesn't say a word properly, or sometimes doesn't say at all, just drifts off.
Wonderful.
Anyway,
I almost feel like we should preface this because of past indiscretions from Bill with maybe Bill's most famous
brain fart. Well,
brain fart.
So this will get you ready for it, Ed, because this is one time when Danny Frawley, our great friend, was in the studio, and he went to leave, and as he went to leave, he said,
I've got to try and find it now, so keep padding.
Normal. He went to say goodbye as normal, and I said, righto, good on you, Spud. And then Bill came out with something.
So were you distracted at the time, Bill, or were you paying full attention?
No, I was just paying full attention.
Right,
my brain knew what to say, but my mouth didn't.
So here's a taste, Ed.
Okay. So
here's a condensed version for you, Ed.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is, stay, how are you?
Don't know.
Is this your cat's, it's a number of, or some, like, were you in Vietnam, Bill? Did you take any shrapnel to the head, or?
Who knows? But so there's an example. And Bill.
Okay. Yes.
I want you to sit back, Willis, and don't take your earphones off and enjoy 3 or 4 of the best minutes of the Idiot File.
I know why they got their name.
Oh, do you?
Do you know why?
No.
Because there's no birds in Tokyo in the CBD because of the dense population. So they said...
Dense population?
Dense bird population. Anyway, there's no birds in the central BDD of Tokyo.
Write all of that down, please, golf bag. No, I'll get it.
You get very snappy, you two.
Well, just because we say you wouldn't know regularly and you don't listen.
No, because I do know for once. I get something right and do the old bristles stand up.
Go on.
Now, here.
What does that actually mean?
Nick Subin, misconduct offence in which he made unnecessary contact to the face of Sam Mitchell.
Yes.
Straight to the tribunal. That is...
Or tribunal.
Tribunal. Well, he's got a misprint here. So
write that down, please.
He cannot accept an early plea, Jim.
Yes.
Straight there to that
place.
All
right, so you've just said like a riddle, like a cryptic crossword sort of clue. So what about a joke?
It's not a joke.
What about
a joke?
No, it's not.
They will be driving to the pub thinking, I get it now.
Yeah, but it's not a joke.
It's a riddle me do, Batman.
Write that one
Something
down.
is wrong with him.
Riddle me, dude.
It's just...
What? I can't have riddles?
No.
No, this is a
Bill,
joke
it's
segment.
It's a joke segment. You're meant to tell a joke.
Who am I, Jim?
No one knows. This is the problem with
I'm
you.
the Penguin.
We don't know who you are. You've turned into a freak.
Dustin Martin, very happy to be back with the Richmond boys. No high-fiving and fisting each other.
Bill.
Well, what's that called when you do that?
I'll write that down.
No,
Fisting.
No,
Bill.
When you
speak, Bill, you need to think first in your head.
What do you call that, Chief,
before
when you
the words
do the
come out of your mouth?
Huge race. Who's in the Turnbull? Hick?
Who did you think was going to be in it?
Plus Sans de Loom.
Sorry, who?
The grey horse for Darren Weir trains.
Write that down, Hick.
What's it called?
Plus Sans de Loom.
Why Mr. Apple can get stuffed?
Yes.
Because I'm now going to have to change, Bill, every charger.
Why, Jim? What are they...
Because the new ones have got a different arse plug.
Oh, jeez. Write that down, Higgo. He just said...
I didn't mean it to come out like that, Bill.
He just said arse plug.
Bill.
So did you.
Paul Duffield is a superstar. Actually, one of those...
No, he's a very good player.
So we're going to have a chat here.
Have you got your own opener?
A new opening, Jim.
Oh, no.
Because I liked Under the Bill with the Bill. And...
What is it? Just write that.
I'm writing it down, don't worry.
What is that?
I'm not sure.
Under the Bill with the grill, Bill.
Yeah, and
not
Jill.
Sure what it was.
So I watch a bit of Australia's Got Talent because there's some very talented people out there. A very funny magician. What do they call Magic Man?
Yeah, what's the...
We've got a late entry for the idiot file.
Dale Thomas, let's talk about where he's at. Is that
fait accompli?
Fait accompli. Well done,
That's
Bill.
the word,
he leaves Collingwood and goes to Carlton.
What's happened to you, Jim?
What?
You've got to the stage now where Bill's finishing his
No, well, I
sentences.
didn't actually want to use fait accompli, but the word I was thinking of I couldn't think of, and Bill threw it in, so I took it.
And it was a good word, Bill. Well done. Hey, what about Del Sando going to North Melbourne? That is, it's getting a lot warmer than we thought. And
you said it's a done
deal. I do love Nick Del Sando.
I'm not saying it's a fait accompli, but I'm saying that it's a fate.
Oh, wow.
It's horrific, isn't it? It is just truly horrific.
And not complete
Bill,
yet.
Just stick to what's on this sheet, Bill. Ed, have you heard anything like that?
I love it. The disconnect between brain and mouth. Sometimes it's about 70 or 80 metres. And that is as good as it gets. Although, thank you so much for the bombshell, Mr. Brownless, that the Richmond boys were fisting each other. No wonder he was exploring his options. Do you know what I mean?
Just so.
Maybe GWS don't go quite so hard. Maybe it was a little more gentle up there. Maybe they buy you a drink first.
Bill, come on.
What a genius
What
you
about
are.
Jim? Fait accompli. That is my word of the week.
Yeah, I'm still not sure if we're all across exactly what it means.
No.
Or when you use it.
No, but
No,
I
it's
love
fate,
it.
but it's not complete.
It's fate, but it's not yet complete.
Oh, and the word, I've never heard the word misprint said incorrectly as misprint. It sounded like a rival to Miss Indy. That sounded...
Well, Ed, if you can bring any of this to the table next week, of course, when you do breakfast with the great Damien Flemington.
Me and Flem and Rosie are filling in for Ed and Mick and Das and keeping the chairs warm on the hot breakfast next week. And I've been instructed, Bill, that I have to read Flem's book by the time we go to air. And I'm 30 pages in and still... I mean, this man can big note.
Yes.
If you read this book, you would firmly believe that somehow he was Don Bradman's batting coach. He taught Wardy how to bowl spin, and he's going to be opening in the Ashes to come at the end of the year. And you, so far, Mr. Brayshaw, South Australian batsman of the century.
That's it.
No mention.
Good.
I went to the index. No mention.
Now, Bill.
Yes.
We've got a joke to come out of you, please, from all the way from Deniliquin, the home of the birthplace of Simon O'Donnell.
It is indeed, of course. And I reckon Adam Gilchrist lived here for a while too. Your mate, Jimmy boy.
Bill. Come on, here we go.
A sandwich walks into a bar.
Oh, no.
The barman says, "Sorry, mate, we don't serve food here."
He's actually gone with it.
Oh, no.
Jace is laughing. Me mate Jace here is laughing. He thinks it's the funniest.
No. You said that one earlier in the show off air, and I said, no, don't go with that.
Bill.
And you have.
Sorry, mate, we don't serve food here.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, no, we understand it. Bill.
Oh, you got it, right.
All right, well, get stuck into the
See you
utes.
Monday. Oh, yes. The Ute Muster. I got the big Ranger with me, and we're going out to the Ute Muster, and the Sunny Cowgirls, and a bit of Grinspoon, Russell Morris, Casey Chambers, Oh, look out, we're away.
Because he's on delay, listen.
You ready?
Triple M's Rush Hour podcast was brought to you by Brighton Toyota, Australia's largest